Proof, and today we're gonna talk about Alliance Battle Legend. And I did some days myself. I tried to cap, there's no cap basically, but the way to take your last thing you could, it's on 6 million, and that's the only day I was able to do 6 million myself. It's the free day, no restriction day. And let's start from the start, there is a start. The start is Alliance Battle Normal. Everyone knows how to clear. Alliance Battle Extreme, one of my favorite game modes in this game. And after is Alliance Battle Legend. It's a new game mode we took, and there is some specific restrictions that I'm gonna talk about in the end of the video. I'm gonna show you, in my opinion and in general, what people feels like, the best 3 characters you could choose for each day of World Boss Legend. As you can see here, in the first round you need to use human, speed, female, that someone can do in the group Fracture. And I'm saying someone because if you swap any character that is supporting on the leadership and not the main DPS into the game, use the Fracture ability, the reset on swapping characters is automatically resetted, so you're getting your character ready to attack again the main DPS. So you can utilize a lot of characters like that. Some days there is no other character that you use, some like support, so you could rather not using support like 40% against super villains, but utilizing a character that can do this ability Fracture. And how can you find the character that doing the ability Fracture? There's no such a way. The only way is go through the skills of the character, go here, press like that, and see if there is any character having Fracture. And here, as you can see, there's no Fracture somewhere. Right? Yes, see, don't have, but one character that got Fracture from the mutants, I think it's well, let's press this, it's Strife. Yes, I was utilizing Strife's 3rd skill. You can see here there is Fracture 10 seconds. You need to run through your roster to find the characters that got Fracture if it's not the day that you could use them into Alliance Battle Extreme. But if you can see here, all the characters that got this tags up got the Fracture every single day. The characters that are available to use, they got this tags up. And I'm gonna show you the gameplay, how to play with your characters, how to utilize Fracture. For some characters is different, for some characters are not. And let's go through really fast the requirements here. First of all, as I told you, is combat human male. Basically speed human female. It's pretty much like ABX, there is a 7-day rotation that the groups are similar. After is blast super villain male, and after no requirements, universal female, human female, super villain male, combat. So it's a lot of characters: superhero, blast, mutant, speed female, superhero alien male, no requirements. It's the 1 week after today. Superhero mutant female. As you can see, they are pretty similar. I mean, this day got super villain alien, the previous day had alien universal. So yes, universal male, as you can see here. So this tag, you could utilize a universal on both days. And yes, before we go through that, let me show you how I was able to pull out 6.2 million with my Ironman and how I utilize a team for him. Let's see with the team I use. So the plan is, in the start you're going and collect Odin's Mighty, is purple balls in the ground dropping. You want to ball up the odds, so you're getting away with them really fast and not running around for them. You want them to come into the boss and take advantage of it. As you can see, the skills you need to use, it's highlighted with the thumbs up. It's the second skill and the first skill. And in the second part, you want to let him jump into the middle, use normal your rotation, letting him cast that, and after use your first skill. Your first skill is canceling really fast with Iron Man, and I find myself and others, people's thoughts in my alliance and in other chats I am, that Iron Man is one of the best for this day, because he's a really nice DPS, and his fracture is really easy to use through his first skill. There is other characters that got really hard use of his fracture, like Kamala Khan. I'm gonna show you right after that. But at the moment, as you can see, my Iron Man is already pulling out 2.7 million in the first state of in the first phase. As you can see, if you collect 4 orbs, you're getting this buff, 150 more attack against, with the other phones against Searcher. So you want to be ready every single time when you get this buff. You want to be ready, drop the big weapons, drop your 7 skill, drop your 6 skill, you want to take advantage of it. But generally, Iron Man is a really cool character to use, and I'm really glad I built him first, and I generally built him, and I'm really glad I suggest you guys build this character, because he keeps his value. After this huge update we took, a lot of characters came into. Venom is really a really good weapon, but Iron Man value is always there. As you can see, he's flying through this content, and yes, I feel like he is the best for no requirement day. I have heard from people that Moon Knight is also good because he's following with his 5th skill, the Searcher boss here. And yes, basically, as you can see, the whole rotation stuff and thing I'm doing with Iron Man is that you're already seeing. It's not big deal. I did put the Odin Force here, my 7th skill was ready, and my Hulk gonna smash. As you can see, I really find myself easy to use Hulks every single time because I like the dialogue they have, Iron Man with Hulk together. Perhaps you find yourself characters that can be utilized easier, Wanda is a really cool character to use with Iron Man because the boss gets kind of more damage. As you can see, 6.2.1 is really cool. You really need at least 6 million to get all the rewards. And let me show you another one on that. The day of Speed Female was find me choosing between Yelena Belova, Iroh, and Kamala Khan for Fracture, and one strategy was to get your Black Widow or Luna, go crazy damage on them, and swap into Yelena. When Yelena used her Fracture, the reset on the swapping of the character is swapped, so you can swap again into Black Widow or Luna and utilize them as the main DPS. As you can see here with Kamala, the trick is to start the 5th skill when he starts jumps, because the 5th skill Fracture happens in the end. You want to start the 5th skill way before he wants to get fractured, because you're gonna miss it. I miss it a lot of times. You can see here he starts doing this 5th skill and look at the fracture. There's no fracture now. It's off the skill. It's off the thing at the moment. Yeah, I have missed a lot of rotations here. I've missed a lot of procs. I'm using her with a mighty destruction, and that's not the best use for her. The best use is with raids. No surprise, Alliance Battle Legend is it's better with the CTP of Rage or CTP of Judgment for elemental type characters. But in general, you can see her 6th skill also can fracture. So if you have her 6th skill, you're cool. You can utilize it instead of 5th skill. But 5th skill feels that it's more standard, that you're gonna have it ready and you don't need to count yourself seconds or be 100% sure that you're gonna have it. So I was using it most of the times for canceling the fracture. Here I think, yes, I used my 6th skill and it was yes, you can see the 6th skill also takes some time, but it was, you see there, the fracture happened exactly the second he starts wanting it. and I'm 2.1 at the moment here. This team is really working for me. The black, I didn't have Yelena awaken, so you really need to have the character that it's going to do the fracture needs to be at least awaken, at least tier 3 or level 80. If they are not tier 3 or awaken, they're gonna dodge. You know, the boss gonna dodge their attack. So you can't really fracture with any level of character into your roster. So that's why I didn't utilize Yelena this week, because my Yelena is level 60 at the moment and tier 1. So I couldn't really use her to fracture. She was missing. So yes, I find myself more usable using Kamala with this team up. And another good part here is that this way the game is more rewarding into the players that had more wide roster, more bigger roster, you know. For this day specific, you can utilize also Iron Man as the guy gonna fracture. And now I'm gonna show you how this thing I was saying is working. You can see I'm going crazy here with Mephisto. I'm swapping into Strife, doing the fracture, and Mephisto can be already swapped. I saved this run only for that reason. So exactly the timing the boss is doing the fracture thing and you need to fracture him, you could swap this moment into Strife and use his third skill. Instead of Strife, you could wear your Iron Man, the Blast Villain uniform, the Superior Iron Man, and do the fracture with the first skill of Iron Man. But if you're a super well and you had your Strife all this time into your roster and never utilizing him, now is the time for him to sign. You can swap on him and do one skill, take the fracture, and swap again into your favorite Blast Villain Mephisto, who is in the top of the meta for native tier 3s and Blast Villains long time. Perhaps Superior Iron Man is doing a lot of damage himself also with his old uniform, you know, level 80 or tier 4. Perhaps he got pretty much similar damage with Mephisto, but Mephisto is a solid solution because he's really useful for World Boss Legend. So after the gameplay we already saw, let's go through day by day and see the teams and the best DPS I would suggest you really fast. First day is Speed, Human, Female. Let's go and see which is the best. In my opinion, this 3 is the best DPS that you could utilize for this day. Kamala Khan is the easiest in my opinion because you don't really need to have any other character to do the fracture ability. She's doing it herself. Or Black Widow tier 4. Basically the most damage could pull out by Black Widow tier 4 with a striker with fracture. You could choose whoever you want, but if you want to utilize them as it is, you need to go through here your Yelena Belova. As you can see, put the old uniform, which is not this one, equip and have the skill of fracture right here, third skill. Or else another option you could utilize here is Aero. And where is Aero? I already awakened here. Yeah, so you could utilize Aero also for that. I think the fracture is actually, yes, third skill also. So yes, if you want to swap into other character, you could use Luna or Black Widow with team up of Wave, because as you can see, the only support is Wave and Fox, but Black Widow don't really get the support of Fox, so you're using Wave. This is the day 1. Let's go to day 2. For this day, there is not a lot of options. It's like Mephisto or Iron Man. In my opinion, the rest are so bad DPSs. I mean, you know, here is all the Blast Villain I have, and the male ones are even less, you know. There is Moonstone being good also, but Moonstone is a female, So you could choose from Ebonimo, Cyclops, Magneto, Captain America, Hydra. I mean, this is really bad options. Only Iron Man and Mephisto pull this out. And a character you could utilize for the fracture is, as I told you, Strife with his third skill. As it seems, fracture on third skill is in fashion these days. Or Iron Man with this uniform into his second. So yes, let's go to the next team up. In this day, guys, I'm not that sure, the third day basically is the free day, the one we are today, that you really need only fracture, so it's up to you what you build it in your roster. I mean, Venom could do it. There is fracture on his abilities. I think it's on his third skill. Yeah, and yes, on his third skill. So you could even use Venom. You could use Iron Man. I find myself really easy to use him. This is really nice fracture on his second skill. It's happening really fast, and in his first skill, in first skill there is also, and a really good leadership if you are using him with team. They are, how it's called, superheroes. It's Nicholas, Fury, and Coulson. They provide you an extra buff and some guarding critical rate. Of course, CTP of raids is always the best, so it's up to you what character you got a raid and what character you got tier 4 or level 80 tier 3. So let's go to the next. The best DPS for this day, which is universal female, is Wanda and Athena. There is no doubt about it. But the bad stuff is that the only character as universal female that got the fracture ability in the game at the moment is Captain Marvel with her second skill. Her second skill provides you the fracture here, so they got a team up with Wanda, I think. So you can utilize here as a swap play. You could utilize here, you could use Athena or Wanda as your main DPS, and the other support you're gonna use most of the times is Phylavel. Phylavel got the team up with Captain Marvel, so you're gonna provide yourself an energy attack, the buff that Phylavel gives you, the passive ability. For all universal types, it's 30% all attack, and you could swap to Captain Marvel, do the fracture, and swap again into Wanda or Athena. Let's go to the next. For the next day, it's human female. So let's see what there is. Non-tier 4 thoughts here, because I don't have any tier 4 to go for striker and utilize the fracture from this. It's Black Widow or Blue Dragon level 80. They're gonna make it for you, but you have to understand that you always need a fracture character, and here for that is Crescent. Crescent is a really good leadership for Black Widow, let's say, for Kamala Khan, and for multiple human females that you got down below here, like Scream, it is like Sharon Rogers, Luna Snow. I can't really tell you go and use this character altogether. My best advice on you is use Crescent lead, Black Widow or Kamala Khan, and another one for supporting, like White Fox. If you have White Fox and drop Kamala Khan, she's gonna get the buff there because she got leadership. Or else you could utilize again Wave. Wave's leadership with Blue Dragons. Wave's support is really important, so you can make a team up like that. And when you're gonna be and when you want to do the fracture, you could swap into your Crescent, press the second skill, which I think it's the oh no, press the third skill and get your fracture and swap again into Black Widow, and you're not losing anything from your team because you got the solid leadership and the support. So for me, characters like Black Widow or Blue Dragon or Kamala Khan is the best at the moment here with this setup. And the good part with Kamala Khan is that you could use her on both days for female speed and this day, and also utilizing the White Fox buff that the others are not getting. Blue Dragon also getting it, but with Blue Dragon you need to have here tier 4 and utilize a striker to do the fracture. Let's go to the next. The next one is Combat Villain Male, and let's see our boy. I could tell you about guys like Mr. Fantastic or Apocalypse or someone else, but I don't feel like there is any other than Hulk using here. And the really good leadership is utilizing someone's lead that got HP, like Kingpin, because he's getting buffed from the HP. Hulk himself got fracture on 2 of his ability, on his 3rd skill and on his 5th skill. It's kind of weird when the fracture is broken and enabling it, so you need to be careful. And a support for him could be Taskmaster or Abomination. There's no other chances, you know, to go with other characters. The rest of the characters you have to choose is really bad. I mean, a really good Juggernaut? No, I don't feel like I mean, there's not a lot of characters. We could see something about Carnage in the middle month, but at the moment, this is the best you could use for this day, 100% sure. The very next day is Blast Superhero Mutant, and that's the weirdest because in the whole game there is like 3, 6, 8, 16 characters that they are Blast, Superhero, and Mutants. And from these characters, there's not many that could be doing Fracture. Basically, it's only one character in the game that has the Fracture ability, being Mutant, being Blast, and being a superhero. And that's Negasonic. That's Negasonic. I mean, this is insane. I'm not sure which skill has it, but it's only here. Yeah, here 4th skill. Only here has that. If you don't have Negasonic, you can't get here. You need to go and grind through the things, you know, from Dimension Mission. I mean, yes, the daily, but there is a chance that you could get some bias. But what is this? We have only one character that we have to build, and that's here. And guess who is the only DPS you could use? Yes, it's a Paywall Uniform Storm. The very next is Emma or Psylocke, but they are also Crystal Wall. I mean, this is insane. There are no choices to do. Only Negasonic, and I mean, you could utilize Cyclops leadership, but I find myself that this girl here, Dazzler, gives you the more out of it. With this ignores 70% of ignored dodge and the 65% increased damage dealt to boss types. The Surtur is for sure a boss type, and yes, I mean, what's going on, guys? Everyone, you need to go and find Negasonic, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I feel like they're trying to get something out of Negasonic. Are we going to get a rework for here? I'm not sure. But there are no other options, guys. Believe it or not, there are not other options. Let's go to the next day. The next day is Speed Female, so you could go back into the previous thing we said about Speed Human Female and having exactly the same character, except that you are getting Makari also into the, you know, into the characters you could choose. Let me show you. So if you don't have any other character in the game, if you don't have basically Black Widow tier 4, that's the best case scenario for you, because Makari is doing herself really easy fracture on her 2nd skill, I think, or 1st skill. Oh, it's on her 2nd skill, so you could utilize your already built it Makari for ABX and use her against ABL also. I'm gonna do that myself. I'm not sure about the results because I don't have Kamala with raids to compare here 100%, but I feel like Makari gonna sign in this day, and we're gonna find out for some days from now ourselves. It's really early. I'm talking about the best case scenario characters, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't have test every single team. But that's the general feelings and a first review to make you understand what you need to focus on building to be good on Alliance Battle Legend. Let's go to the next one. The very next day is Superhero Alien Male. Weird. And yes, there's nothing more than Thor. Aliens male, it's really rare tag in the game. There's no other characters, as you can see down below, that provides you any buff more than 60% elemental battery build buff he's giving to you. I mean, there's Hyperion, there is Silver Surfer, but these characters are so outdated, and as you can see down below, there's no others. So it's on one way Thor, tier 4 with a striker, or go through someone like Silver Surfer to take advantage of the fracture on his abilities, and the fracture happens on the 4th skill. It's kind of weird to get it done, but you can utilize him, swapping into him, and continue your DPS with your Thor. I mean, yes, using Thor tier 4 could be easier, but I'm sure that there's no you people don't have Thor tier 4 at the moment. So in my opinion, Silver Surfer, it's a really good choice there. Or if you have him tier 4, go for Odin and just boost your team ups you're having here and take advantage of these things. Let's go to the next. The next one is again no requirements, so it's exactly the same like the previous I said about Iron Man being the best. And after that we have again superhero mutant. Oh my god, again super weird choices. Let's see. Basically, it's exactly the same as previous. If you consider that the female superheroes in the game and mutant one, it's exactly the same I was telling you before. Again, Negasonic could be your best choice here. It's really weird that there's no other characters having fracture. Oh, perhaps Rogue God? I didn't... no. I thought she had somewhere. On her tier 3? No. I mean, I haven't go into deep on that, but I believe there's no other. Again, Negasonic, again Dazzler, and now you can't really use this guy because it's only female, so it's even less characters. Let's see. I'm really, you know, thinking about if I'm doing mistake, and there is a uniform for this. If you go universal, is there a fracture anywhere? No, bro, there's no fracture. Yeah, there's no way. You can only utilizing Negasonic again, and Dazzler is an option with here. So yes, that's it is. It is what it is, guys. I mean, so weird that you have to have a paywall uniform for Storm and a character that it's really rare. Negasonic. Let's go to the next. And the next one is super villain alien. Yeah, that's the fate. Basically, that's the whole roster for super villain aliens, and it's like either Null, either Gore, either Thanos. It's only Fatis and Loki, the free-to-play god that he don't have fracture himself, but you could utilize Thanos leadership or Thanos team up with this thing here or something like this thing here, and that's the best you could use. I mean, there is some chances Gore with the raids and really good build it being better than Loki. No, I don't think so. So yes, Loki is one-way solution here. Null could pull out some, but I feel like that's the only case. And Thanos with his fracture is the only way to go through this. The rest of the characters are really weird. So yeah, look at these characters. I mean, even if your Ulik got fracture, you can't really use him, he's level 60, so you need an Awaken or a tier 3 character, and yes, weird solutions here again. This is the best team up, I know, but yes, you could go something like this instead, you know, for fracture, but Loki is missing the fracture, so you need to bring Thanos on you and do that. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is universal male. So Thor could have a use here also, but let's see the whole roster we could utilize. There is a lot of characters, but to be honest, guys, the only one that I find myself as a male and universal could do really respectful damage is Thor with a striker again, or go through Loki with Thanos. So Loki and Thor could utilize both days. I already told you. And the character you could utilize to do the fracture, as I told you, is Thanos. There is others for sure, but you can see the list is not that big again. So yes, if you already had Thanos for that, you could utilize him again. And of course, you could go for better ABL as the leadership of Thor, or someone like, let's say, someone, okay, there's no, for Loki lead, yeah, Thanos and someone else. I mean, it's really weird, the characters that we have to utilize. I'm not 100% sure about the list I'm bringing here. Perhaps it's someone hiding them, you know, like Doctor Doom. I've seen people utilizing Doctor Doom, but he's not that good. He's not better than Thor, 100%. Thor with a tier 4 here would be a meta character with a striking ability doing the fracture. His rest of the skills don't have fracture, so it's really sad that we have to have him tier 4 or else he's getting wasted and you need to swap into other character. But the good part is, even if you swap into Thanos and use his fracture, it's cool because you can really swap again into Thor, so you're just losing an extra support in your run. Let's see the next. And the next and final 14 round here, it's the combat human male. Let's see. And guys, to just for you to make it easier to choose the characters and see who is the best, you can utilize this filter here. You're pressing this thing below and you're going through and press into that and utilizing, you know, combat human. So there is filters for searching. In my opinion, the best is Moon Knight, again Hulk, or Venom. That's because there is no other characters, of course. This is the 3 level 80s we took. And of course, there is characters that you could use as a leadership. One of the best leaderships is Agent Venom for Venom. For the other two guys, I think Abomination, it's one good solution. As I already told you, for Hulk, he is more, you know, it's better using a HP lead like Guardians, not Guardian, Red Guardian, yes, Red Guardian is the name. But yes, this is the 3 characters you could utilize. Hulk and Venom got fracture, Moon Knight don't got it, but if you have him tier 4, you could do it through his striking ability. That was it, guys. I hope I helped you decide what's gonna be the next characters you're gonna build for your roster, for Alliance Battle Legend. It's really important to understand that if you complete this thing here, you're getting a lot of rewards, guys. If you complete the thing on Legend and you unlock the 6 million, you have an opportunity to get a 4-star artifact, a premium card, and an Odin's Blessing. This is daily chances, you know, 30 times per month. That's a really good chances for you. So I would tell you to focus on building characters for Alliance Battle Extreme and Alliance Battle Legend, because that's gonna brought your account into another level, and perhaps in the future they're gonna add even more things in your rewards through Alliance Tournament. And of course, it's exactly the same. If you want to participate into Alliance Tournament, your Alliance must be in the top 16. As you can see, we're in top 6 right now. I am 31 here. But the weekly rewards these days are really nice. If you manage to be in the 4 to 10, as you can see, you're getting extra 280 Model 8 gems. 11 to 50, it's 260. 0 to 1, it's 240. And it's not dropping a lot. So if you manage to pull all your players into Alliance Battle Extreme and Alliance Battle Legend, at least them trying it, you're gonna have really good Model 8 gems, like 1000 in the end of the month. So you're gonna be able to tier 3 to awaken more characters. I hope I helped you decide. As I already told you, bye bye to everyone, and don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down below in the description, if you down below into the comments, if you think that I did any mistake, or I missed any character, or any fracture I'm saying it's not working, or something like that, you know. It's things I was thinking, and nothing really standard and 100% you have to think that that's the meta or something. I'm just trying to pull out myself which one is gonna be the best, and we're gonna see it in the very next days after there is a full cycle of this 2-week schedule. Bye bye.